Hey everyone. So recently I have been teaching myself how to do my own lapidary work. This has mostly been cutting cabochons. So far I've managed to do it with a Dremel, some diamond bits, and some diamond paste. And it's worked out okay, but the hardest part I've noticed with the Dremel is preforming it. And so I went and got this tile saw. I'm pretty happy with it. But let me just show you how it works. It's kind of easier that way. Too long, don't want to read it version. In the time it took me to preform this one cabochon, I was able to preform six. One's missing, but there's a sixth one. Um, Six pieces. Been a while since I've done an unboxing and review of a cheap tool, so we're going to do the Drill Master tile saw with wet tray from Harbor Freight. I just finished putting this together. Major annoyance, but that's okay. I did get one of the nicer blades. It was $17. This thing was $50. The water is self-enclosed. I have not turned this on. I haven't plugged it in. I don't even know if it's gonna work. I mean, that does happen from time to time with Harbor Freight tools. It's okay. But anyway, I've got it set up now, so I filled it up. Now, one suggestion I already got so far for anyone who's giving this a try. This plug has a hole in the center. This is apparently to keep it at like some optimal level. I don't know. I can see that being problematic in the future. I'll probably place it in a better spot right now. It's kind of got a built-in drain underneath it since I'm using the washer, so I'm gonna turn this on. Alright, so we've got the water in. As entertaining as it might be to turn it on with getting to see all that, maybe another time. I have here just a little piece of slab, and then I've got a thicker chunk too, which I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to go to work on it yet, but I'll figure that out here. I just want to see if I can even cut this. Now, it does come with this walking guide, which is nice, although I imagine I'm going to want to do a little more free-form cutting. No? Screw it. Let's turn it on and see what happens. A little bit of water. I barely got a chance to touch it. It is like 9 o'clock at night. And I see some stuff I'm going to have to do to get this to actually be a thing. But it has potential. After running it for 5 seconds, I see some problems for my setup. One, I'm going to need a better splash guard. Now, this room will work for this, but I just don't know. I'm going to have to put a little bit of thought into how this goes. I'm going to be doing a voiceover here in a moment. I did kind of play with it a little bit, figure out. Moral of the story is your shirt's going to get wet with this. It's not too bad otherwise, really. Well, let me show you. So I have a little piece of slab here that I'm going to practice on. Alright, back to normal speed. Now this is agate, and it's not incredibly hard, especially compared to diamonds. And I just kind of want to show you guys how long it takes to cut through this with this saw. In my opinion, it wasn't bad. It was way quicker than trying to cut it with a Dremel. It's kind of cool getting to watch it from this angle. I can see all those little sparks lighten up, even though it is underwater. As you can see, I cut through that pretty quickly, but that does also have to do a lot with the diamond saw blades that I'm using. I did get the $17 one instead of the $4 or $5 one. I do wonder if that's going to make a difference. Either way, still cutting pretty well. I did notice towards the end it was cutting slower, but I'm not just using this to cut the stones. I'm also using it to preform and shape them. I know how to fix that now. About this point I had noticed that the cutting was slowing down slightly, and I think that's just the nature of using diamond abrasive type blades. So now I'm using the side of the blade as a flat lap, and that works for that part that's impregnated with the diamonds. You can kind of tell where it's at. And I'm using that to just shape this into a more oval and rounded shape. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. Now, doing this, I notice it does seem to burn out pretty quickly. Might be something to keep in mind when buying blades. I'm gonna try getting a bunch of cheap ones and see what I can do with them. And here I'm even doing some real shaping by beveling the edges away. And this will save me a ton of time with the Dremel. Let's try another one. Here I have the slabs that I cut off. Now this here was actually just a rock. Like, just a rock. And this was a slab of agate that I cut into multiple pieces, so... To be fair, I also have these little chunks of agate here. And I think what I'll end up doing with these, I've got a tumbler, and we'll do a review on that eventually too. And I'm just gonna throw a lot of these chunks in that I can't use, just throw them into that tumbler. And then what I do with those is I just give them to, kids at the farmer's market or something. I have a little box, and it keeps them from stealing my product. So yeah. So now let's cover the last part of this review, and that's cleanup. Alright, so as I said, waste not, want not. So then we have this. Which wipes, yeah, you can, you undo the tank. There we go. I'll wipe this off while it's still, again, $50. I ain't super worried because I'm also not using it a lot, although I am curious. Now, I did get it with the 2-year warranty. Why I did that is because they make these for the guy that's broke a tile in his bathroom, do it yourself, which I think it'll work for you too if you're that guy. This thing's great. It's got the ability to do the mitered cuts and all that stuff, so that's kind of nice. But I'm planning to use it for a lot of lapidary, and I don't think it's gonna make it 2 years. As I build this whole lapidary thing up. So, kind of nice. I will, be able to take it in and replace it for $17. If it doesn't make it 6 months, I'll probably cut that back to their 1-year warranty for $10. Totally, either way, it's worth it to get the warranty on the working machinery. I got the $17 blade. Now they have $4 blades as well. And I'm actually curious about those. There's also some other things, like maybe I could turn this into a full-out lapidary disc. I don't know if I could or not, but I would be interested to find out. Anyway, the next step is drainage. It's actually a fairly simple operation to do. Take the thing I use to fill it, put it underneath. Pull the plug. And kept me from breathing in all that. That's very nice to know, actually. I see I've got room left in my pan. What I'm going to do is dump a little extra water in. And then use the wet paper towel that I used earlier to kind of just squeegee the rest down the hole. Now, how good do you actually have to clean this up? I don't know. I usually don't care that much, but because I do have the issue of I've run out of room. I figure it might be best to at least clean the water out for me. Because I'm gonna put this away. It is designed to be, shoved in a closet somewhere or in the garage and forgotten about when you don't need it, which is nice. Drop that down. Put this back on. If you have OCD, you're probably cursing me out. Sorry about that. Then again, if you have OCD, you probably are not subscribed. Because, not with the way I do things. Unplug. Pop. And there we have it. Even with its little carrying case, I can now just go drop it wherever the hell I'm going. Or just behind the door in the laundry room where I used it. So, yeah, if you're getting into lapidary and you're getting a little more serious, this will save you a ton of time. I personally would, so far, I think this thing works great. I would recommend it. Is it your, I don't know, $500 lapidary saw? No, it's not. But I'll tell you this, it's way better than a freaking Dremel. Alright, everyone, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up and possibly share with a friend if it might be useful for them or if they might enjoy it. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Check out the channel coming up soon. We'll be showing how I turn these into full pieces of jewelry. And using a wide array of tools that you might have around the house. So, again, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Take care.